Alejandro Garnacho appears to have hit back at the criticism he received in the wake of Manchester United's draw with Chelsea by uploading a cryptic Instagram post. The 20-year-old has been one of the few strong performers for United this season, scoring 6 goals and laying on a further 4 assists across all competitions, while many of his teammates have struggled. But that wasn't the case on Sunday afternoon, as the Reds, in Premier League action for the first time since Erik Ten Hag's sacking, lacked impetus in a 1-1 draw against Chelsea at Old Trafford. Garnacho was handed his 7th start of the Premier League season by interim manager Ruud van Nistelrooy, but failed to aid United's attacking threat due to poor decision-making in the final third, resulting in teammate Casemiro berating the Argentine. The forward was also the subject of criticism online from quarters of the club's fan base for his performance, but appeared to hit back at the discourse with an Instagram story on Tuesday night. Garnacho uploaded a motivational image captioned, "Make it personal." Of course, only Garnacho will know what he meant with his post, but it is a phrase that is often used by sports stars when they have suffered a setback. Garnacho is set to be involved in United's latest outing against PAOK and Leicester City before the end of the week. After that, though, United will enter a new era as Sporting CP manager Ruben Amorim takes over the club on Monday and will oversee his first fixture in charge of the club at Ipswich Town later this month. However, he is set to face a fight to keep his place in the GEC1, with Amorim likely to try and implement his favoured 3-4-3 formation at Old Trafford. It's a chilly November evening and Old Trafford is shrouded in anticipation. The last leaves of autumn drift through the air as fans pull their scarves a little tighter, eager to see Manchester United's stars light up the pitch once more. The familiar hum of excitement is back as whispers fill the stands. Who's returning tonight? In the heart of Carrington, a young Lenny Yoro walks without crutches for the first time in months. Memories of his pre-season injury in the States feel like a distant shadow as he steps onto the grass with renewed strength. A fractured metatarsal had held him back, but tonight he's closer than ever to making that grand entrance his fans have been waiting for. Rumours say he'll be back right after the international break, just in time for Ipswich Town. A few fields over, Mason Mount is running drills with the same ferocity he brought to Tottenham back in September. The head injury that forced him off the pitch, leaving fans and teammates worried, has healed enough for him to train with the squad. Though he still has a few weeks to go, there's a fire in his eyes, a promise to return and deliver the magic everyone's been missing. Meanwhile, Harry Maguire limps past the rows of jerseys and supporters' banners. He remembers the moment against Aston Villa when he felt the sharp pain shoot through his foot, a pain that still lingers like a ghost. The United medical team gives him the all clear, but he's careful with each step. His November return might be close, but he knows better than to rush it out on the pitch. Fans feel a pang of nostalgia for Luke Shaw, whose calf injury has kept him away for a staggering 8 months. They miss his precise tackles and gritty passion. The setbacks haven't been kind, but the fans hold on to hope, eyes constantly scanning the roster for his name. Elsewhere, Christian Eriksen's seat in the director's box at Old Trafford feels both comforting and frustrating. Watching the Leicester game from above, he's itching to be out there, his injury shrouded in mystery, but his will to return is unmistakable. And Antony, his unforgettable last match ended with crutches and a protective boot. But they say he's healing. Nobody knows when he'll be back, but every game feels like it might just be the one dot these players may be sidelined for now. But the hearts of the United faithful beat for them, willing them back to the field. As each day brings them closer, the air fills with hope that one by one the Reds will rise again, ready to reclaim their glory. And as each fan watches, scarf tight, eyes bright, they know they'll be there to witness it all. Sporting's outgoing manager Ruben Amorim refused to humour the idea of signing Victor Gyokeres for Manchester United, despite his hat-trick against Manchester City in the Champions League. Amorim was taking charge of Sporting for the final time in Lisbon on Tuesday night, and he certainly went out with a bang. City started the stronger and took an early lead through Phil Foden, but once Gyokeres equalised just before the interval, the tide had turned. Maximiliano Araujo gave Sporting the lead less than a minute after the break, before Gyokeres' emphatic penalties secured victory for the Lisbon club. In his post-match interview, Amorim began by paying tribute to the farewell afforded to him. Looking at the game, it was written in stone, he explained in his post-match press conference. The opponent missing a penalty when the score was 3-1. There are days when things have to happen in a certain way. We started the second half very well. The crowd started to get excited. I couldn't ask for another farewell. I'm very happy with this moment. After paying tribute to the fans, the line of questioning shifted to Gyokeres and whether he was on Amorim's radar for United. However, the Portuguese head coach was clear with his thoughts on this. Gyokeres: I've just made peace with them, Sporting. I'm not even going to joke about it signing him for United, Amorim insisted. Gyokeres is at a big club, and now all he has to do is finish the season here. Gyokeres has now scored 20 goals in 16 appearances for Sporting this campaign. Speaking to TNT Sports, Amorim added, No, I cannot be funny with that. In this moment it was tough for me to leave. If I'm starting joking about that with your cameras, I have problems. This is my city, this is my country, so I will respect that Victor has to stay until the end of the season, and then his life is going, maybe, somewhere else. One of the leading recruiters in France approved of Manchester United's Lenny Yoro coup. Fantastic recruitment for United, they messaged, one of the most talented defenders from France. Some similarities with Varane in the same age. Now he will need to increase physically to play in the Premier League. But he has speed, defensive reading and technique to be a very good player immediately, and for the future. The immediate has been delayed by nearly 4 months after a luckless metatarsal fracture following a tangle with Gabriel Jesus in a friendly with Arsenal. Yoro left Los Angeles on crutches and had surgery 3 days after United returned to Manchester. He was pictured undergoing an individual training session with the physio Ibrahim Karem 3 weeks ago, and there was some gentle ball work. Almost there, kid, Bruno Fernandes wrote on Yoro's Instagram, upload.Yoro, who turns 19 next week, will not play against PAOK on Thursday or Leicester or Sunday. Perhaps there will be a cameo during the open training session at Carrington on Wednesday. As gutting as Yoro's injury was, United strove to frame the layoff as a positive for the teenager. A senior coaching staff member said it afforded Yoro time to adjust to his new surroundings at the training complex, settle into his new home and explore the city centre. It is an approach Sir Alex Ferguson swore by to lift the morale of an injured player. United turn the page next week. With the 3 inconveniently timed international fortnights boxed off and the spring internationals not until late March, Ipswich Town on November 24th is a new beginning for United. It gives the illusion that it is the real start of their season. They will have a new coach in the dugout, a new formation and ideally a new centre back in their back 3. Yoro was United's costliest summer signing at a fee rising to €70 million. United saw off competition from a complacent Real Madrid, a role reversal 13 years on from Madrid, gazumping them to sign a teenage centre-back from northern France. Varane is understood to have been among the former United players whom Yoro consulted before making his decision. There was surprise at Everton that United parted with more than £50 million up front for a raw and overseas centre-back, having tabled derisory offers for Jared Branthwaite. Injuries have reduced Branthwaite to 1 Premier League start and 2 substitute appearances this term. Yoro played 80 minutes in 2 friendlies in 2 different continents for United before his metatarsal cracked. There were a couple of dicey passes against Rangers and Arsenal, but also glimpses of the confidence that made him so coveted. United have to aim to get him match fit for Ruben Amorim's first appearance in the dugout at Portman Road. Amorim will have 3 team training sessions at the very most once all of the internationals return from duty, and the Sunday scheduling is a benefit. In 60 appearances for Lille, Yoro never played in a back 3. Matthijs de Ligt has but struggled there for the Netherlands at the 2020 European Championship and for Bayern Munich under Julian Nagelsmann. Lisandro Martinez lined up in the formation in Argentina's World Cup quarter-final against the Dutch. A newly signed United centre-back getting a going-over is a rite of passage. Gary Pallister at Main Road in 1989, Jaap Stam in the 1998 Charity Shield, Laurent Blanc against anyone with pace, Nemanja Vidic at Blackburn, Victor Lindelof at Huddersfield, Martinez at Brentford and De Ligt against Tottenham. There have been exceptions. Eric Bailly and Harry Maguire enjoyed stellar and steady starts. I must say I haven't trained too much with him, Maguire said of Yoro, but I've seen clips and I've seen attributes in a centre-back of an 18-year-old that you'd want, every single attribute he's got. We must remind ourselves he is really young. There are going to be mistakes, but he has every attribute of a centre-back in the modern game, he has it, so I'm sure he's going to have a bright future. It's our job as senior centre-backs, my job, to help him along Communicate well, let him know what to expect. There are going to be times where I'm sure he'll feel the world is on top of him. There are also going to be times where he's going to feel like the best player in the world. And that's what this club brings. Yoro got the same squad number, 15, as Vidic. He comes from St Maurice, is a tricky lyric to work with, but Yoro is a talent United will hope at least emulates Vidic's 8.5 years of service. Vidic joined for £7 million amid interest from Liverpool. That was another coup.